Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this Saturday, the 15th of July, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. And this way, if you're watching this later, you know that the radars and satellites are on the dated side. We've got flood watches up. No surprise here. Eastern Pennsylvania down to the northernmost county of Delaware, all of New Jersey, up and down the entire Hudson Valley, and even points further north up the Northway. Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and the great state of Maine. So all this area under a flood watch. There have been a lot of areas that have seen over a foot of rain in the last 6 days. If you didn't get it on Sunday, if you may have gotten half of it on Sunday, but during this week we've seen several rounds of thunderstorms that have moved across parts of the Northeast that have dumped several inches of rain on top of what's already fallen. So clearly the ground is saturated in just about everywhere except maybe for Long Island. But the heavier rain, I think, is going to be closer to the coast tomorrow, so that might make up for it. Meanwhile, just want to point out we've got heat advisories across the Gulf states back through Texas. Temperatures very hot, heat indices off the wall. Southern Florida as well, and of course. The extreme heat in the southwest continues with temperatures 110 degrees or higher in these areas and moving up into Northern California. Oddly enough, when you check the heat indices for a lot of these places, because the air is so bone dry, the heat indexes are usually running about 5 to 8 degrees under what the actual air temperature is. So as they say, it's a dry heat. Starting to get air quality issues again because of smoke around the Great Lakes and also back up into parts of northern Nebraska and further northwest from Wyoming on up into Montana. We are in an absolutely soaked tropical air mass along the East Coast. Dew points in the 70s all the way up into Massachusetts. Dew points well up into the 60s as you go further north into Vermont, New Hampshire. Even some 70-degree dew points showing up on a few observations in Maine. And in the meantime, of course, up and down the eastern seaboard, it's nothing but tropical air. And as you look to the west, we've got a low in northeast Indiana. We've got a cold front that is dropping down from Wisconsin and Minnesota. So all of this is swinging into the east, and that's going to bring the rains for Sunday, which I think are going to be much more continuous than whatever we saw today. We are seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms with the lightning strikes on the satellite loop here in parts of New Jersey as of 5 p.m. Eastern Time, also in parts of the southeast and Florida. No organized areas of severe weather going on. There just seem to be these pockets here and there where we're getting some thunderstorm activity. Oh, and by the way, take a look. You can see the smoke, the milky white that's across the plains, now moving into the Midwest, and that's we haven't had that much smoke to deal with in the last couple of weeks, but seems to be making a comeback here. Here's the northeast satellite loop, which I'll give a quick refresh, and you'll see the cells, the thunderstorms popping up in southeastern that did pop up in southeastern Pennsylvania and also now in parts of North Jersey. But they are few and far between. There's not much going on in upstate New York or in New England, and the scattered cells that run down through parts of the Appalachians and into the southeast. And this is what it looks like on the radar. The area to the west in western Pennsylvania, Ohio and West Virginia, this is all part of the complex of moisture that's going to be moving in for Sunday. So today was a summertime day in July. We've been touting it as the better of the two weekend days for eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, and it will indeed be the case. Marginal risk for severe weather tonight, well away from the coast, New York State to Pennsylvania, down the Appalachians into North Georgia, back up to Ohio. Also an area across North Texas and back up into New Mexico. Now for tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has actually expanded the area of marginal risk from eastern Virginia northward through upstate New York, and now is extending it up into Vermont, New Hampshire, and even into parts of Maine. And there is a small area of 2% tornado risk that is being indicated in southern New England and in southeastern New England. And the rainfall amounts that are being forecast, and much of this is front end loaded here. We're talking about if we smooth it out, it would be from say 1.5 to 3 inches in areas from eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey north and east. However, Because of the convective nature of what we're dealing with, local amounts could easily be double that. So just please bear that in mind. In the summertime, when we get these instances, models do not do well with picking up max areas of thunderstorm activity. So all it really will take is for something just to sit over you for a period of time, and you've got flash flooding. And in the case we're dealing with tomorrow, it's a short period of time. WPC, a moderate risk. That's between 40 and 70% probability of excessive rainfall that could cause flash flooding, covering northern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, north and east through New England into western Maine. And that also includes, by the way, down near the coast of Connecticut and Rhode Island. Long Island is in a slight risk. Central and South Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania in a slight risk, which is 15 to 40%, and the green, which is a marginal risk, 5 to 15, running down the coast across the southeast and across into the Gulf states. So we're going to play this through with downpours and thunderstorms. We're actually going to start to see them develop during tonight. This is at 2 a.m., what the GFS thinks the radar is going to look like. And then by 8 a.m., we have a very widespread area of rain. This front is going to get hung up temporarily. So we're likely to see more showers and thunderstorms develop, even though maybe the first area starts to slide out, but then more starts to form again on the western side. So look out during the afternoon and evening, or in the afternoon. By evening, we might finally see this thing move away to the east, and weather conditions starting to improve from west to east during Sunday night. Another very warm, humid day tomorrow. It'll be in the 80s until the rains come. Then it'll be in the 70s, and the humidity is going to be extremely high. Monday looks like it should be a dry day. We'll just throw in the chance that there could be a shower or thunderstorm. You see them scattered up and down the East Coast. There's a stall frontal boundary offshore, which the models want to generate some showers and thunderstorms again on Tuesday. So something that we may have to pay attention to here. And then after that, Wednesday and Thursday look okay. And we'll be waiting for other weather systems that will come in toward the end of the week. But of course, first things first will be overnight into most of the daytime on Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, the Joe and Joe Weather Show will be on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So mark it down. We'll be on right when all the rain is going on. So that'll be useful. So we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.